Have you ever woken up with the feeling that something important happened during the night, but you can't remember it? That subtle yet powerful sensation that your soul was trying to communicate with you, but the message slipped away before you could grasp it. It's a haunting experience, and it's more common than you think. What if I told you that this is not just a coincidence? That the things you forget, your dreams, your inner desires, even your deepest fears, are all part of a much larger pattern? In today's video, we're going to dive into the psychology behind why we often feel stuck, unable to break free from the barriers holding us back. These barriers aren't always external, they are internal, built from unresolved emotions, fears, and past experiences. But here's the good news: you have the power to overcome them. Together, we'll uncover how the blocks in your mind prevent you from unlocking your true potential and how you can start the journey to transformation, one step at a time. Stay with me as we explore how to break free from limiting beliefs and embrace a life of growth, clarity, and purpose. 1. The illusion of comfort: resistance to change. We all have a natural inclination to seek comfort. The mind, in its attempt to protect us, prefers the known over the unknown, the familiar over the unfamiliar. This preference for comfort often manifests as resistance to change, even when that change could bring about personal growth and freedom. Psychological aspect: the brain is wired to prioritize safety and survival. In evolutionary terms, staying within a comfortable environment meant lower risks of danger. This instinct is deeply embedded in our subconscious and continues to influence us in the modern world. The fear of the unknown is rooted in this primal survival mechanism. Change, even when it's for the better, often feels like a threat to our mental and emotional stability. The thought of stepping out of our comfort zone brings discomfort, and this discomfort leads to avoidance. Real-life example: take a moment to think about someone you know, perhaps a family member or a friend, who has stayed in a job or relationship that drains them. The job may not align with their passions, and the relationship may be toxic, but they cling to it. Why? Because it feels familiar. Even though their mind knows they could be happier elsewhere, the fear of change holds them back. They choose to stay because they know what to expect. The unknown, with all its possibilities, is simply too scary. This kind of resistance to change is common in many of us. We avoid new opportunities, different paths, and new ways of thinking because they challenge our current way of life. But this resistance doesn't just apply to big life changes. It's in the small, everyday choices as well. Avoiding new ideas, clinging to outdated beliefs, or hesitating to speak our truth are all signs of resistance to change. Actionable advice: breaking free from this illusion of comfort requires self-awareness. Start by identifying areas of your life where you feel stuck. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding, and why? If you're avoiding a difficult conversation or putting off making a major decision, it's likely that fear is at play. Recognize that the discomfort you feel is temporary, but the growth you'll experience on the other side is lasting. Start small. Challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone in areas that feel manageable. Take on a new hobby, have a conversation with someone you've been avoiding, or make a decision you've been putting off. By gradually pushing yourself beyond the boundaries of comfort, you can begin to shift your mindset. Embrace the discomfort as a signal of growth, rather than something to fear. 2. Emotional blocks and the fog of the mind. Emotional blocks are another significant barrier to personal growth. These blocks often remain hidden in our subconscious, festering under the surface of our everyday awareness. They are the unresolved emotions from past experiences, such as grief, guilt, shame, and trauma, that create a fog in our minds. This fog makes it difficult to see clearly, both in terms of our goals and our true selves. Psychological aspect: emotions that are left unprocessed and unresolved are powerful forces that shape our perception of the world. When we experience emotional trauma, whether it's from a childhood incident, a failed relationship, or the loss of a loved one, our brain doesn't always know how to process the pain. Instead, It buries these emotions deep within the subconscious. This emotional weight begins to accumulate over time, making it harder to think clearly, make decisions, and pursue our goals. The concept of emotional blocks refers to this very process. These blocks create psychological barriers that prevent us from accessing our full potential. When the emotional fog clouds our minds, it also clouds our ability to take decisive action and move forward in life. Real-life example: imagine a person who has experienced a traumatic breakup. Over time, they suppress the sadness, anger, and confusion they felt during that time. They don't fully process the emotions, but instead, they push them away and carry on with life. However, these unresolved feelings linger in the background, affecting their interactions with others. They may find themselves hesitant to trust new people or avoid opening their hearts again because of the emotional blocks built from the past experience. This emotional baggage doesn't just affect relationships, it can also hold us back in our careers, health, and personal development. When we are emotionally blocked, we often act out of fear or insecurity, which leads to missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Actionable advice: the first step in clearing emotional blocks is to bring awareness to them. This requires introspection and honesty. Journaling is a great way to process emotions. Write down your thoughts and feelings about your past experiences, especially those that you may have avoided facing. By acknowledging these emotions, you can begin to untangle them and release their hold over you. Another powerful tool is meditation. Meditation helps quiet the mind and creates a space for emotional healing. Through mindful breathing, you can observe your emotions without judgment, allowing them to pass through you rather than control you. Therapy or counseling can also be immensely beneficial in uncovering and resolving emotional blocks. Talking to a professional can help you identify patterns in your behavior that stem from past trauma and provide you with strategies for healing. Remember, emotional healing is a journey, and it requires patience. The fog of emotional blocks may not lift overnight, but with consistent effort, you can begin to clear it and restore clarity to your mind. 3. Fear of facing the unknown and the power of intention. One of the greatest barriers to personal transformation is the fear of facing the unknown. This fear is deeply connected to our sense of control. The unknown feels unpredictable, uncontrollable, and scary. Yet, the most transformative experiences in life often occur when we step into the unknown. Psychological aspect: fear of the unknown is a natural response that stems from the brain's survival instincts. When we face something new or unfamiliar, our brain perceives it as a threat. It is this fear that keeps us from making bold moves, taking risks, and breaking out of our routines. The ego, which seeks certainty and control, is particularly resistant to change, especially when it involves something uncertain. This fear can paralyze us, causing us to hesitate or avoid making decisions that would benefit our personal growth. However, when we learn to embrace uncertainty, we allow ourselves the freedom to grow and evolve. The power of intention comes into play here. It is the conscious decision to face the unknown with an open heart and mind, trusting that the universe will guide us in the right direction. Real-life example: consider someone who is considering a career change. The idea of leaving a stable job, even though it no longer fulfills them, is terrifying. The fear of uncertainty: what if they fail? What if they struggle to find a new job? What if they regret their decision? Holds them back. But when they finally take the leap, they discover new strengths, talents, and opportunities they never imagined. The unknown wasn't as frightening as they had once thought, and stepping into it opened up a world of possibilities. Actionable advice: the first step in overcoming the fear of the unknown is setting a powerful intention. Set the intention to embrace the unknown with curiosity, rather than fear. Start by identifying one area in your life where you feel stuck and acknowledge the fear you have around it. Then, set the intention to move forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Visualization can be a helpful tool in this process. Visualize yourself facing the unknown confidently, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your goals. This helps train your mind to see the unknown as an opportunity for growth rather than something to fear. Another technique is to break down the unknown into smaller, more manageable steps. Rather than focusing on the entire journey, concentrate on the next step you can take. This approach reduces feelings of overwhelm and makes the unknown feel more manageable. 4. Dreams as karmic mirrors personal growth. In many spiritual traditions, dreams are seen as mirrors that reflect our deepest inner world. They are not random occurrences but are imbued with meaning, offering insights into our subconscious mind, our past, and our spiritual journey. Psychological aspect. Dreams often reveal truths that our waking mind isn't ready to face. They bring up unresolved emotions, fears, and desires that are buried deep within our subconscious. The subconscious mind communicates with us through symbols and metaphors, creating a language that can be challenging to understand. This language isn't just random, it is connected to our personal and karmic history. Real-life example. Imagine having a recurring dream of being chased. In waking life, you might not feel directly threatened, but this dream could symbolize an unresolved fear or avoidance in your life. Perhaps there's something you've been running away from, a decision you need to make, or a conversation you've been avoiding. The dream acts as a mirror, reflecting what needs to be addressed in order for you to move forward. Actionable advice. To unlock the wisdom in your dreams, start by paying closer attention to them. Keep a dream journal by your bedside and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Don't worry about interpreting them immediately, simply write down the symbols, emotions, and details. Over time, patterns will emerge, and you'll begin to understand the deeper messages your dreams are offering. Meditation and mindfulness practices can also help you connect more deeply with your dreams. Before sleep, set an intention to remember your dreams and ask your subconscious mind to bring you messages that will help you in your personal growth. Remember that dreams are not to be feared but embraced. They are gateways to self-discovery and transformation. 5. Breaking free from limiting beliefs. Spiritual hygiene. Limiting beliefs are deeply ingrained ideas that we hold about ourselves, our abilities, and the world around us. These beliefs are often formed early in life and can be reinforced by societal norms, family dynamics, or personal experiences. They act as invisible chains that bind us to a limited version of who we truly are. Psychological aspect. Our beliefs shape our reality. If we believe we are not worthy of success, love, or happiness, we unconsciously create circumstances that reinforce those beliefs. This self-sabotaging behavior keeps us stuck in a cycle of limitation and mediocrity. Breaking free from limiting beliefs requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to question the beliefs that no longer serve us. Real-life example. Think about someone who believes they're not good enough to start their own business. They have this belief because of past failures, critical voices, or the fear of failure itself. As a result, they never take the leap to pursue their dream. However, if they were to challenge that belief and take small steps toward their goal, they would start to see evidence that their belief isn't true. The only thing holding them back is their perception of themselves. Actionable advice. The first step in breaking free from limiting beliefs is awareness. Identify the beliefs that are holding you back. Write them down and ask yourself, is this belief true? Does it serve me? Challenge the belief by finding evidence to the contrary. For example, if you believe you're not good enough, look for times in your life when you succeeded or overcame challenges. Spiritual hygiene is also an essential part of breaking free from these beliefs. Just like physical hygiene keeps our bodies healthy, spiritual hygiene, practices like forgiveness, letting go of past hurts, and cultivating inner peace, keeps our minds clear. Regularly practice self-care, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in nature, to keep your inner world balanced and open to new possibilities. 6. The role of fear in spiritual growth. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It is a primal instinct that helps us avoid danger, but when it comes to personal and spiritual growth, fear can be a major obstacle. It often prevents us from pursuing our goals, embracing new experiences, and stepping into the unknown. Psychological aspect, fear, in many cases, is deeply rooted in our past experiences and the stories we tell ourselves. It's not always based on real, present dangers but often stems from our perception of what might happen in the future. The ego, which seeks to protect us, often amplifies fear to the point where we become paralyzed by it. This fear keeps us in our comfort zones, even if it means remaining stuck or unfulfilled. On a spiritual level, fear also acts as a barrier to growth. It creates resistance to change and limits our ability to open up to new possibilities. In spiritual traditions, fear is often seen as a force that keeps us from connecting with our higher self or divine essence. As long as we allow fear to dictate our actions, we remain disconnected from our true potential. Real-life example. Think about someone who wants to speak publicly or start their own business but feels overwhelmed by fear of failure. This fear is not based on actual events but on the imagined worst-case scenario, that they will fail or be judged. As a result, they avoid opportunities that could help them grow and achieve their dreams. When fear is allowed to dictate our actions, we remain stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and hesitation. However, when we face our fear and take small, intentional steps toward what scares us, we begin to weaken its hold over us. This is how spiritual growth occurs, by acknowledging fear, understanding it, and choosing to move forward in spite of it. Actionable advice to overcome fear. The first step is to acknowledge it. Don't deny it or suppress it, instead, bring it into the light. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of, and why? This simple act of self-awareness helps reduce the power fear has over you. Once you understand the root of your fear, take deliberate action to confront it. Start small, take one step outside your comfort zone at a time. For example, if public speaking scares you, start by speaking in front of a mirror, then gradually work your way to speaking in front of small groups. Over time, you'll desensitize yourself to fear and begin to embrace it as a part of your growth journey. Meditation and mindfulness practices are also helpful in overcoming fear. By quieting the mind and becoming more present, you can learn to detach from fearful thoughts and stay grounded in the present moment. This helps you break free from the grip of fear and take action despite it. 7. Embracing transformation, letting go of the old self. Transformation is a process of shedding old layers of the self to make room for something new. It involves letting go of past identities, outdated beliefs, and limiting patterns that no longer serve us. But embracing transformation requires us to be open to change and to release what is no longer aligned with who we are becoming. Psychological aspect. The fear of change often comes from a desire to hold on to the familiar, even if it's painful or limiting. Our identities are closely tied to our past experiences, and letting go of these identities can feel like losing a part of ourselves. However, transformation is not about losing who we are, it's about evolving into a more authentic, aligned version of ourselves. On a psychological level, transformation requires self-awareness and the courage to face the parts of ourselves that we've been avoiding. It requires us to confront our fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs and let them go in order to make space for new possibilities. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is also incredibly liberating. Real-life example. Consider someone who has been in a toxic relationship for years. They may have built their entire identity around this relationship and the role they played in it. Letting go of this relationship may feel like losing a part of themselves. But by doing so, they open themselves up to healthier relationships, personal growth, and a more fulfilling life. Similarly, someone who has spent years working in a job that doesn't align with their passions may need to let go of the identity they've built around their career. This can be challenging, especially if it feels like their sense of purpose is tied to their job. But by embracing transformation and pursuing a path that aligns with their true calling, they create space for new opportunities and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Actionable advice. To embrace transformation, start by identifying areas of your life that feel stagnant or limiting. Reflect on your past experiences and the identities you've built around them. Ask yourself, what beliefs, habits, or relationships do I need to let go of in order to move forward? Journaling and meditation can help in this process of self-reflection. By becoming more aware of the parts of yourself that are no longer serving you, you can begin to consciously release them. Let go of the need for control and trust that transformation is a natural part of life. Take small steps to embrace change. Start by making small changes in your routine, trying new things, and challenging your old patterns. Each small step will help you build the momentum needed for larger transformations. 8. Messages from the subconscious. Listening to your inner voice. Our subconscious mind is a vast reservoir of knowledge, insights, and wisdom. It holds the answers to many of life's questions and can guide us toward the right path. However, the subconscious often speaks in symbols, feelings, and intuition, which can be hard to understand. Learning to listen to your inner voice is an essential part of personal and spiritual growth. Psychological aspect. The subconscious mind stores everything we've ever experienced, from memories and emotions to dreams and beliefs. It communicates with us constantly, but because it speaks a different language, often in images, symbols, and intuition, it's easy to overlook its messages. When we're too focused on external distractions, we may miss the guidance that's available to us. Listening to your inner voice requires quieting the mind and tuning into the subtle signals that arise from within. These signals may come in the form of a gut feeling, a sudden insight, or even a recurring thought that feels significant. When we learn to trust these signals, we open ourselves up to deeper wisdom and a greater connection with our higher self. Real-life example. Imagine a person who is facing a major life decision, such as whether to move to a new city or take a new job. While they may seek advice from others, there's an inner voice that keeps nudging them toward a particular choice. They may feel a sense of peace or excitement when they think about this decision, even though there's no logical explanation for it. This inner voice is their intuition, and learning to trust it can lead them toward the right decision. In another example, a person may have a strong feeling that something is not right in a particular relationship. This gut feeling is often a signal from the subconscious, warning them of potential harm or emotional imbalance. By learning to trust these feelings, they can make decisions that align with their true desires and values. Actionable advice. To listen to your inner voice, start by practicing mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you quiet the noise of the external world and become more attuned to your internal world. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations as you make decisions or navigate challenges. Another helpful tool is journaling. Write down your thoughts and feelings regularly, especially when faced with important decisions. Reflect on the guidance that arises from within. You may find that by tuning into your inner voice, you gain greater clarity and direction in your life. Trusting your intuition takes practice, but the more you listen to it, the stronger your connection to your higher self will become. 9. The power of meditation in personal transformation. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for personal and spiritual growth. It allows us to connect with our inner selves, quiet the mind, and cultivate a deeper sense of peace and clarity. Through regular meditation, we can develop greater self-awareness, reduce stress, and unlock hidden potential. Psychological aspect. Meditation has been shown to have numerous psychological benefits. It helps reduce anxiety, improve focus, and increase emotional regulation. By creating a still space within ourselves, we allow the mind to process emotions, resolve inner conflicts, and gain insights into our deeper desires and motivations. Meditation encourages mindfulness, which helps us stay present and conscious of our thoughts and feelings. When we meditate, we also tap into our subconscious mind, which is a powerful source of guidance. By quieting the conscious mind, we allow the deeper, wiser part of ourselves to emerge. Real-life example. Many successful people swear by meditation as a tool for personal growth. For instance, athletes, entrepreneurs, and even artists use meditation to improve their focus, enhance their creativity, and stay grounded. One example is the renowned entrepreneur Tim Ferriss, who credits his meditation practice for helping him stay calm under pressure and make better decisions in both his personal and professional life. Actionable advice: start by setting aside a few minutes each day for meditation. Begin with simple breathing exercises or guided meditations to help calm your mind. As you become more comfortable with the practice, you can explore different types of meditation, such as mindfulness, loving kindness, or visualization. It's important to remember that meditation is a skill that takes time to develop. Don't get discouraged if you find it difficult at first. Stick with it, and over time, you'll begin to notice improvements in your mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall sense of well-being. 10. Energy cleansing practices: releasing negative energy. Our energy field is constantly interacting with the world around us. We are affected by the energy of the people we encounter, the places we visit, and even our own thoughts and emotions. Negative energy can accumulate within us, blocking our ability to grow, connect, and thrive. Energy cleansing practices help us release this negative energy and restore balance to our lives. Psychological aspect: negative energy, whether it comes from external sources or within ourselves, can create emotional and mental blocks. It manifests as stress, anxiety, or fatigue and can drain our vitality. When we're surrounded by negative energy, it's difficult to think clearly, make decisions, or maintain a positive outlook on life. Cleansing our energy allows us to remove these blocks and restore a sense of peace and clarity. Real-life example: consider someone who has been in a toxic environment for a long time, such as a stressful job or a toxic relationship. Over time, this environment begins to drain their energy, leaving them feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. By practicing energy cleansing techniques, such as spending time in nature, taking salt baths, or using crystals, they can remove the negative energy and restore their vitality. Actionable advice: to cleanse your energy, start by practicing grounding techniques, such as walking barefoot on the earth or meditating in nature. Spend time in environments that uplift your energy, and avoid places or people that drain you. You can also use physical cleansing methods, such as taking baths with Epsom salts, using essential oils, or practicing yoga to release tension and clear stagnant energy. Crystals like amethyst, selenite, and clear quartz are believed to have cleansing properties, so placing them around your home or on your body during meditation can help clear negative energy. Energy cleansing is not a one-time practice but a continual process. Incorporate it into your daily routine to maintain balance and peace in your life. 11. The journey of self-discovery: embracing the unknown within. Self-discovery is a lifelong journey. It requires us to explore our inner world with curiosity and openness, without the pressure of predefined answers or expectations. The unknown within us is a vast territory filled with potential, wisdom, and possibility. Embracing this unknown allows us to truly understand who we are and what we are meant to become. Psychological aspect: the journey of self-discovery is often met with resistance because it requires us to face parts of ourselves that we may have repressed or ignored. These aspects of our psyche can be uncomfortable to confront, but they hold the key to understanding our authentic self. Through self-discovery, we learn to integrate these aspects into our lives, creating a more complete and balanced sense of who we are. Psychologically, self-discovery leads to increased self-awareness and emotional intelligence. By understanding our own motivations, desires, and fears, we are better equipped to make conscious decisions and take actions that align with our true purpose. However, this process requires vulnerability and a willingness to embrace both our light and dark sides. Real-life example: consider someone who has spent their entire life in a certain career or relationship, believing that it was the right path for them. After years of inner conflict, they decide to take a step back and reflect on what truly makes them happy. Through self-discovery, they uncover a passion for art or a desire to travel the world. This realization doesn't come easily, but once they embrace the unknown within themselves, they begin to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Actionable advice: to embrace self-discovery, start by setting aside time for introspection. Ask yourself deep questions. What do I truly desire in life? What fears or beliefs are holding me back? What part of myself have I neglected? These questions can help you uncover aspects of yourself that you may not have been fully aware of. Engage in activities that encourage self-exploration, such as journaling, therapy, or mindfulness practices. Allow yourself to be curious and patient with the process. The journey of self-discovery is not about finding immediate answers, but about exploring the many facets of who you are. 12. The spiritual discipline of remembering dreams, a gateway to transformation. Dreams are not just random brain activity. They are messages from the subconscious and the spiritual realm. In many spiritual traditions, dreams are viewed as a sacred tool for personal growth and transformation. The ability to remember our dreams can unlock deeper insights into our inner world and provide guidance for our waking lives. Psychological aspect: dreams serve as a bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind. They reflect our deepest desires, fears, and unresolved issues. When we remember our dreams, we are essentially reconnecting with a part of ourselves that is often neglected in our busy, waking lives. The process of remembering dreams requires a willingness to engage with the subconscious mind, which can sometimes be difficult or uncomfortable. Psychologically, the act of remembering and interpreting dreams can provide profound insights into our psychological and emotional state. Dreams can bring to the surface unresolved issues, helping us process them and move toward healing. They can also offer symbolic messages that guide us on our life's path. Real-life example: a person struggling with a decision in their life may begin to have recurring dreams about a journey, a path, or a crossroads. These dreams are not random but symbolic of their own uncertainty or need for change. By paying attention to these dreams, they can gain clarity about their next steps in life and what is truly aligned with their authentic self. Actionable advice: to enhance your ability to remember and work with your dreams, start by setting an intention before you fall asleep. Tell yourself, "I am ready to remember my dreams. I am open to receiving the messages they bring." Upon waking, take a few moments to reflect on any images, emotions, or sensations you experienced during the night. Keep a dream journal by your bed and write down any details as soon as you wake up, even if they seem insignificant. Engage in practices such as meditation or visualization to improve your connection to your dreams. Over time, this practice will deepen your awareness of the messages your subconscious is trying to communicate and provide guidance for your journey of transformation. As we come to the end of this journey through personal growth and transformation, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder: the path to unlocking your true potential is not a straight line, but a series of steps that require courage, self-awareness, and intention. Whether it's overcoming limiting beliefs, releasing fear, or embracing the unknown, each challenge is an opportunity for growth. Transformation begins with self-awareness and a willingness to confront the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. It requires a commitment to living authentically, trusting your intuition, and embracing the discomfort that comes with change. And most importantly, it requires a deep connection to your inner wisdom, whether that's through your dreams, your emotions, or your spiritual practices. Remember, the journey of self-discovery and personal transformation is unique to each of us. What may work for one person may not be the answer for another. But the common thread that runs through all of us is the power of choice, the choice to break free from what holds us back and step into the life we were always meant to live. Now, I challenge you to take the first step toward your transformation. Reflect on the limiting beliefs, fears, and emotional blocks that may be holding you back, and commit to releasing them. Begin to trust your inner voice and listen to the wisdom of your dreams. Each small step will lead you closer to the person you are meant to become. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Transformative Thoughts for more content on personal growth, spiritual awakening, and practical tools for creating lasting change. Your journey matters, and we're here to walk it with you every step of the way. Thank you for watching, and remember, Transformation is just a decision away.